Gentlemen, this is Brian Caudell, the former Edgewood varsity baseball coach, current Edgewood High School staff member, and Cougar superfan here to cover the Edgewood softball Cougars, lady softball Cougars, in their senior night matchup today against the Monroe Hornets. We are going to quickly give you the lineups before turning it over to our senior on-field program hosted by Rich Hazelwood, and then the game beginning at 5 o'clock. But first, let's give you the starting lineups. First, beginning with Monroe, coached by head coach Tim Kellis. The Hornets come into today with a record of 11-2 overall, 1-2 in the SWBL Southwest Division. The Hornets lineup will look like this today. Leading off in left field, number 3, McKenna Bear. Batting second at shortstop, number 4, Aubrey Vandeventer. Batting third and catching, number 19, Rose Hensley. Batting fourth and pitching, number 27, Hannah Whitty. Batting fifth at first base, number 30, Maddie Frazier. Batting sixth in center field, number 2, Chloe Holmes. Batting seventh at second base, number 33, Ava Peoples. Batting eighth at third base, number 21, Molly Griffin. And batting ninth in right field, number 37, Caroline Weary. Again, for the Hornets, it's Bear in left, Vandeventer at shortstop, and Hensley catching. Middle third of the order has Whitty pitching, Frazier at first base, and Holmes in center field. With the bottom third, Peoples at second base, Griffin at third base, and Weary in right field. Now for your Edgewood Cougars. The Cougars come into this game today, coached by Wayne Henson. Cougars are 6-15, 0-5 in the SWBL Southwestern Division. Here's the lineup for the Cougars today. Leading off, our only senior on senior night, catcher number 1, Evelyn Henson. Batting second at first base, number 14, Jaylee Rose. Batting third in right field, number 23, Samantha Veerhoff. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 11, Leah Combs. Batting fifth at third base, number 25, Riley Kallick. Batting sixth and pitching, number 5, J.C. Brashear. Batting seventh in left field, number 24, Bailey Strunk. Batting eighth in center field, number 7, Ellie Clemens. And batting ninth at second base, number 00, Evie Short. The shortstop for today's game is number 6, Reagan Jarvis. Again for the Cougars, Henson catching, Rose at first base, Veerhoff in right. Combs is the designated hitter, Kallick at third base, and Brashear pitching. While the bottom third will be Strunk in left field, Clemens in center field, Short at second base. That's the lineups for today, folks. We are looking to get underway at right around 5 o'clock p.m. But first, we will be carrying the on-field presentation for senior catcher Evelyn Henson, who will be playing collegiate softball at Purdue University, Fort Wayne. We'll be getting into that a little bit later in the broadcast, but we are going to take a break. You won't hear anything until that program begins. And roughly what should be about 4.5, 5 minutes from now, you'll be able to watch that on the live stream. Then I'll come back on for the live broadcast at 5 o'clock, and we will talk to you then.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jim Woodry Field at Edgewood High School and tonight's varsity contest between the Monroe Hornets and the Edgewood Cougars. Tonight is senior night. At this time, we would like to take a few minutes to realize the senior in our girls softball program. We appreciate the time and dedication she has put into our program. She will be escorted by her parents, who are also a huge part of the program. We thank you for allowing us to coach your student and support our athletic program. First of all, we would like to recognize the seniors from our visiting team, the Monroe Hornets. Number 21, Molly Griffin. Number 30, Maddie Frazier. Also, in memory of Madison Smallwood, we would like to present her family with a flower also. And now to introduce our Edgewood senior, number 1, Evelyn Henson. Evelyn is escorted by her dad, Wayne, her mom, Tiffany, her sister, Whitney, and her brother, Wyatt. After graduation, Evelyn will attend Purdue University, Fort Wayne to play softball and study criminology to someday become a forensic pathologist. Evelyn would like to thank her first travel ball coach, Russ Smith, for developing her softball skills at an early age. Wendell Hutchinson for sticking by her side through the good and the bad times during her recruiting process. The Edgewood softball team for never failing to make it a great and fun season. Thank you to my current coaches, Dustin, Maddie, and Bateman, for all you do. Rich Hazelwood for all he does for the program. Her brother and sisters, Wyatt and Whitney, for the love and support during her athletic career. And last but not least, her mother and father. Her mother has been her biggest fan since day one. If she forgot her cleats, she knows her mom is going to bring them. If she lost her uniform, her mom would probably already has it ready, clean, and hung up. And if she needs a hug after a hard day, she knows she's getting one from her mom. Her dad has been her coach since she picked up a ball. Her dad is the reason she is the person and the player she is today. She couldn't ask for a better coach or dad. Evelyn's favorite compliment is, "You are just like your dad." She wants to thank you for all the time, expenses, and love you have given her. Number 1, Evelyn Henson. Now, I've also been given a letter to read. When coming to Edgewood as a freshman, it is a whole new world to me. New school, new teachers, new friends, new coaches, new teammates. But one teammate was not new to me. That familiar face was Evelyn Henson. For those of you that don't know, Evelyn and I are cousins. I just made a mistake here. I got to back up. This letter is from J.C. Brashear. For those of you who don't know, Evelyn and J.C. are cousins. We grew up celebrating holidays and birthdays together ever since I can remember. I would always think that she was the coolest person ever, and I strive to be like her. She is so brave and is never afraid to speak her mind. I have always looked up to her, not just because she's older, but because she isn't afraid of anything and is a great mentor to everybody. Next year won't be the same without her, cheering for all of us on the field and in the dugout. For the rest of my high school ball, I am sure I will still hear her voice in my head cheering, "Go pitch, Jace." With every strike I will throw. She may not know it, but she has always been one of my biggest role models, and I am so glad to get to call her my teammate, cousin, and friend. Thank you, J.C. Brashear. And that concludes our senior presentation. Good evening once again, and introducing the lineups.
It's not coming through, I don't think.
You ready? Good evening, and here are the lineups for this evening's contest. For the Monroe Hornets, number 3 in left field, McKenna Baer. Number 4 at shortstop, Aubrey Vandervenner. The catcher, number 19, Rose Hensley. The pitcher, number 27, Hannah Whitty. The first baseman, number 30, Maddie Frazier. The center fielder, number 2, Chloe Holmes. The second base, number 33, Ava Peoples. Number 21, at third base, Molly Griffin. In right field, number 37, Caroline Weary. The Hornets are coached by Tim Kellis. For your Edgewood Cougars, number 1, the catcher, Evelyn Henson. At first base, number 14, Jaylee Rose. In right field, number 23, Samantha Verhoff. The DH, number 11, Leah Combs. At third base, number 25, Riley Calick. The pitcher, number 5, J.C. Brashear. In left field, number 24, Bailey Strunk. In center field, number 7, Ellie Clemens. At second base, 00, Evie Short. And the shortstop, number 6, the flex, Reagan Jarvis. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please stand for the playing of our national anthem.
Nice touch, a small one thing. Yeah, never did that. I like that one of their fans do that or something.
No, our fans did.
Sunshine gonna wash my blues away.
We try to keep it as classy as we can.
Had sweet love, but I lost her. She got too close, so far, and now I'm lost in a world trying to find a better way. Wishing I was deep in the water somewhere, got the blue sky breeze and it don't seem fair. The worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise. Send me back in a minute. Bought a boat and a sail off in it. Don't think anybody's gonna miss me anyway. Mind on a permanent vacation. The ocean is my only medication. Wishing my condition.
Leading off. Leading off for the Hornets, the left fielder, number 3, McKenna Bear.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. This is Brian Caudill carrying Edgewood softball. We're all set for action. First pitch in there from the Edgewood pitcher for the day, that being J.C. Brashear, and that's taken low for ball 1. First pitch of this game at 4:59 p.m. Pitch taken for a strike. We'll go through the defensive positioning in just a minute. The 1-1 count. We're all set. Here it comes to leadoff batter McKenna Bear. She swings and hits a fly ball into left field. Under it and making the catch is the left fielder, Bailey Strunk. So Bailey Strunk with a nice play in left to start this one. One quick out for the Cougars.
The shortstop, number 4, Aubrey Vandeventer.
So a fly out to left to begin this one brings up to the plate shortstop number 4, Aubrey Vandeventer. She's a freshman for the Monroe Hornets. Fastball taken outside, 1 ball and no strikes. A beautiful day at the moment, believe it or not, in Southwest Ohio. Currently 58 degrees, a 4-mile-an-hour wind out of the south. There's strike a little bit upstairs, but again, at the moment, drive, overcast, but a very comfortable 58 degrees here in Trenton.
And I might add, it's about time. Last week was a very wet week.
There's a swing and a line drive base hit into left field for Vandeventer. That's the first hit of this game. Vandeventer lines one into left. That's going to bring up the catcher, Rose Hensley.
The catcher, number 19, Rose Hensley.
So Rose Hensley steps in after Vandeventer reaches on the single. Across the infield for the Cougars, it's Riley Calick at third. Reagan Jarvis is at shortstop. Evie Short at second. And Jaylee Rose over at first with the battery of Evelyn Henson. And on the mound is J.C. Brashear. There's a swing and a deep drive into right center field, and that ball is gone. So Rose Hensley rides one over the wall in right center field. And the Monroe Hornets jump out quickly in this one, 2-0 here in Trenton. So a 2 RBI home run for Hensley will bring to the plate the pitcher, Hannah Whitty.
Number 27, the pitcher, Hannah Whitty.
Check out here real quick, Rich, what that is for Rose Hensley. Pretty confident that probably wasn't her first of the season. She got on that pretty good and rode it over the wall in right center field. Here's the first pitch to Whitty, swing and a miss for strike one. Here comes the 0-1 to Whitty. There's a swing and a foul straight back and out of here. The 0-2 to Whitty. Here it comes, swinging another foul straight back. Count remains at 0-2. The umpires for today's game, behind the plate, is the umpire Todd Chenoweth, and out in the field is Mark Drake for this one. Both assigned by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. The pitch, swinging a drive. That's hit into the left center field gap, and that's off the wall. Cruising into second base with a double is Hannah Whitty. And the Hornets are bouncing them off the boards here in the first inning. And they quickly have a 2-0 lead and a runner at second base.
Now batting number 30, the first baseman, Maddie Frazier.
So Maddie Frazier will step in. We've got a courtesy runner, it appears. We'll see who's out there. Rich, do you happen to get a number on that runner out there? Number five. Number 5 out there pinch running is London Moss.
London Moss.
There's a strike taken by Maddie Frazier, the first baseman for the Hornets. So the Hornets strike quick here in the first. They've gone single, homer, double the last 3 hitters and lead 2-0. There's a swing and a flare into short center field coming on. Not able to make the play is Ellie Clemens. That will go as an infield single.
Hey, Chloe, let's go. Be aggressive.
That ball was, Rich, was sort of hit out into no man's land.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was out of range. Now batting number 2, Chloe Holmes.
I don't think you're on.
Now batting number 2, Chloe Holmes.
So Chloe Holmes steps in, runners at the corners, and currently 1 out here in the first as the Hornets look to add on to what already is a 2-0 lead here in the first. A decent crowd here at the Woodry Sports Complex for this one. There's a fastball taken just off the plate. Runner throw down to second. She's safe. Throw back to home. She's also safe. So a double steal for the Monroe Hornets as Maddie Frazier picks up a steal. Looked like that was a close play. Hannah Whitty runs home with the 3rd run of this one, also with a stolen base. So a conference out at the mound as Coach Henson goes out along with his infield. And he's going to discuss that play at second with the umpire. And I'm guessing that he's in agreement with us up here, Rich. That looked to me like that runner was tagged before she got to second base. But our opinion means nothing, Rich.
No. Now the 2 umpires are going to talk it over.
Now, this would be nice for Edgewood to get a reversal, because I do believe personally that runner was out. And she's called safe. So like I said, Rich, we don't matter.
No, we don't matter.
But that's okay. All right, so now coming up to bat will be still in there is Chloe Holmes. Chloe Holmes comes into this game today with a batting average of .409 in this one. There's a fastball taken high for ball 1. Runner now only at second base. And getting back to Rose Hensley, that home run was her 2nd of the season. There's a strike right on the outside from J.C. Brashear, left-hander. The Monroe Hornets today decked out in the gold tops with the blue pants and what appears to be a yellow trim as well. So I think that's yellow, not gold. There's strike 3, and that's a strikeout as Chloe Holmes goes down looking for the 2nd out of the inning. That's going to bring up second baseman Ava Peoples.
Now batting number 33, Ava Peoples.
So Peoples steps in. Second baseman. Peoples comes into this game today hitting .372 with 15 RBIs. Peoples is a sophomore. There's a fastball taken for a strike. Count 0-2, I believe, is the count. No. Yeah. Scoreboard showing 1-2. Brashear at the ready. Here comes the pitch. That's strike 3, and that will be the inning. Also looking. So for the Monroe Hornets in the top out of the first inning, they get 3 runs on a total of 3 hits. 4 hits. 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no Edgewood errors and 1 runner left on. We're through a half inning of softball here in Trenton with the score. Monroe 3, Edgewood coming to bat. We'll be right back.
For the Hornets,
We are back with you live at the Woodry Sports Complex for the home half of the first inning. For the Edgewood Cougars coming to bat this inning, it'll be Evelyn Henson, Jaylee Rose, Samantha Veerhoff, and hopefully more, as the Cougars, facing a 3-0 deficit right out of the gate, look to come back in this one. So
leading off for the Cougars, the catcher, number 1, Evelyn Henson.
So leading off is Evelyn Henson. Evelyn, if you hopefully caught in the pregame, was our guest on the pregame show. Her and her father, head coach Wayne Henson. If you did not catch that live, that will be available on demand at the Edgewood Athletics YouTube channel. Check that out later. Evelyn, a tremendous young lady. There's a swing and a miss to start this one as Hannah Whitty pours in strike 1 to Henson. If you missed it earlier, Evelyn Henson is headed to Division I softball at Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Here comes the 0-1. Taken low for a ball, and count evens at 1-1. The Monroe infield. There's a swing and a hard grounder, just foul down the third base line, says home plate umpire Todd Chenoweth. 0-2 on Henson. Edgewood Cougars decked out in the gray jerseys today, white pinstripes, and navy blue trim. The signature colors of the great Edgewood Cougar. Swing and a smash into left field, and that ball was blistered by Evelyn Henson for a leadoff single for the Cougars.
The first baseman, number 14, Jaylee Rose.
So a leadoff single for Henson. She's on for Jaylee Rose. Jaylee Rose comes into this one hitting .206. Does have 7 RBIs. And has scored 12 runs. Pitch is just. Correction, pitch is in there for strike 1 on the inside corner. Evelyn Henson came into this game hitting .460. She now has 30 hits on the season. There she goes. Throw down off of her helmet. She slides in safely with a stolen base. Evelyn Henson. So for Evelyn, that is her 11th stolen base this year.
Brian, it's a nice crowd. We're going to be pointing out we have some celebrities in the crowd.
There's a pitch that gets away from the catcher, that being Rose Hensley. That ball got away from her, and advancing to third base is Evelyn Henson. There's a swing and a miss, and down on strikes is Jaylee Rose for the first out of this one. That's going to bring to the plate Samantha Veerhoff.
The right fielder.
The right fielder, number 23, Sam Veerhoff.
So Sam Veerhoff steps in, runner at third, 1 out now, swing and a miss. So quickly 0-1, that runner at third, Evelyn Henson. 60 feet away from getting the Cougars on the board. A good piece of situational hitting from Veerhoff will get the job done, and the Cougars can crawl closer to this one. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a fly ball to left. Tagging is Henson. She's going to run home. That's going to be a close play, and she's safe. So a good piece of hitting by Veerhoff. She gets a sacrifice fly to left field, and that will get her an RBI, and scoring on the play is Evelyn Henson.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 11, Leah Combs.
So Combs steps in, Leah Combs steps in. There's a slow roller ruled foul at the plate. Cougars now with nobody on base and 2 outs, 3-1 the score. Leah Combs hitting .325. And 10 RBIs on the season, 2 doubles, 1 triple for Combs, who is a junior. designated hitter for this one. I guess they call that the flex in this sport, don't they, Rich?
They call that a designated person, and then the flex is another thing. The flex doesn't bat. They can play the field at any position.
So basically, the flex for today's game then is Reagan Jarvis.
Right.
There's a swing and a pop-up on the infield over near the Cougar dugout, and it will drop harmlessly. And Leah Combs will step back in there now with a count of 2 balls. And 2 balls, 2 strikes, I believe is the count. Here comes the pitch, swing and a miss, and that's strike 3, and that'll do it for the Cougars here in the first. But Edgewood does come back with a run. Draw a little bit closer. The Cougars 1 run on 1 hit. There were no Monroe errors. The Cougars did not leave a runner on base. We're through 1 complete with the score. The Monroe Hornets 3, the Edgewood Cougars 1. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with the second inning of this one.
In the inning, we had 1 run off of number 21, Molly Griffin.
Ready for the second inning here in Trenton as the Monroe Hornets come calling. They strike for 3 in the first.
Look out.
That one's headed right over our head, Rich. The last time you and I were together in here, Rich,
I have
we had
nightmares.
one of the rarest occurrences, according to you, that have ever happened, in that a foul ball flew over the backstop, bounced in front of us, and came inside here.
Yes.
And you didn't catch it or protect me.
No.
So this...
I protect myself.
Oh,
I protect myself.
So the truth comes out, Rich.
I
The
protect
truth comes
myself.
out. So I'm on my own, it sounds like, folks,
I
but
love you, Brian, but I could, you know.
something tells me, Rich, I think we're going to be safe. There's a strike delivered from J.C. Brashear to the leadoff batter for the Hornets, that being Molly Griffin. She's the third baseman wearing uniform number 21. Left-handed pitcher Brashear. Pitch is taken high. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Griffin. She'll be followed by Caroline Weary, and back to the top with McKenna Baird. Pitch is taken high, and she's run the count full. 3-2. The Cougar infield pretty much straight away. The corners are drawn in, even with the bag, and at third base even a little closer. Pitch is taken high for ball 4, and Griffin is reached.
Now batting, number 37, the right fielder, Caroline Weary.
So Caroline Weary steps in. Weary, the right fielder today. Weary comes in hitting .333, 12 hits in 36 at-bats. Here comes the pitch. Fake bunt is taken for a strike. Runner dances around over at first, but dives back. So the infield at third, especially now, that being Riley Calick, way in. So they are expecting a bunt from the batter, and if not, she'll have to be ready. There's a pitch on the outside corner for strike 2. Excellent piece of pitching by J.C. Brashear. That pitch painted the black on the outside corner of that plate for strike 2. Brashear's ready. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout. And that's the first out of the inning as Caroline Weary goes down on strikes. And back to the top of the order for the Hornets.
Now batting, number 3, McKenna Baird.
You know, J.C. Brashear, our pitcher, is a sophomore that already has 2 years of varsity experience. So
Well, and Rich,
she's come a long way, and she's got a long way to go.
you know what we talked about though with Coach Henson in the pregame show today. The Cougars are young. There's no denying. Obviously, you saw there was only one senior being recognized, so the great majority of this team is back. They will miss Evelyn Henson, make no mistake about that, but a good group returning, and that bodes well for Edgewood softball
Yes,
in
it does.
2026.
Yes, it does.
These kids are gaining experience, young, talented. They'll find their way. They'll find their way, Rich. I know a good portion of these kids play a solid summer schedule, and that'll get them ready for the coming seasons. Pitches taken low, and the count evens at 1-1 according to the scoreboard.
Keep an eye on that runner.
Yep. The Cougar outfield across the way, we have Bailey Strunk in left, Ellie Clemens in center, Samantha Veerhoff in right. There's a swing and a pop-up on the infield. That's back in the crowd. And that falls harmlessly. Nobody willing to run out there and make a catch. So, count now 2-2 to the leadoff hitter, Bear, who flew out to left her first time up there. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at first. Here comes the pitch from Brashear, swinging a pop-up into short right center. The right fielder over and making the catch is Samantha Veerhoff. So a beautiful catch out there by Sam Veerhoff for out number 2 here in the second inning.
Now batting, number 4, Aubrey Vandeventer.
So that brings to the plate Aubrey Vandeventer. She singled in the first and came around to score on the 2-run home run by Rose Hensley, who awaits on deck. 2 outs, here's the pitch, swinging a hard line drive to left, but the left fielder, Bailey Strunk, collects it for out number 3, and that'll do it for the Hornets in the second. They get a total of no runs. They had no hits. There were no Edgewood errors. 1 runner left on base, and through 1.5 innings of softball, the score remains. The Monroe Hornets 3, the Edgewood Cougars 1. We'll be back in just a minute.
In the Monroe half.
Back at the ballpark as Edgewood comes to bat here in the bottom half of the second. It'll be Riley Calick leading things off, the third baseman. There's a swing and a foul tip into the mitt of Rose Hensley for strike number 1. 0-1 count. It'll be Calick, J.C. Brashear, and Bailey Strunk here in the Cougars' second. There's a swing and a foul straight back. Count quickly moves to 0-2. A little peak of sun now here in Trenton.
Well, we have a spotting of our trainer, Joe Downey.
There's a pitch just off the plate inside, count 1-2. And we would be remiss if we didn't call out Joe Downey every time we see him at these sporting events because he's the best in the business. Let's call it what it is, Rich. Joe Downey is the best in the business at taking care of the
Most
Cougars.
definitely. Most definitely.
You won't meet a nicer man, and on top of that, first class at what he does in treating the Cougars, their injuries, how he treats the kids. There's a swing and a line drive base hit into center field for Riley Calick.
The pitcher, number 5, J.C. Brashear.
So a leadoff single for Riley Calick, and J.C. Brashear steps in.
Now, speaking of characters, I also see Rick Casano from Southwest Sports.
Rick Casano is here?
Yes, Rick Casano.
Wow, we may have to welcome him at some point.
2 large people at the softball, and they're standing side by side.
Well,
That would
I
be
will
Joe
tell
Downey
you,
and Rick Casano.
Rick Casano, in all seriousness, he has covered Butler County sports, and I'd love to have him in here at some point to see just how long he's been covering high school sports in Southwest Ohio, particularly Butler County, and he just does a tremendous job at that. I know he's got his website up and running. I'm going to give you the name of that in case you get an opportunity.
I think he has something like 18 teams that he follows in the Southwest Ohio area.
That's right. And that website run by Rick is called the Southwest Ohio Sports Daily, of which I am a proud subscriber.
Yes, yes.
He does a great job, and we certainly want to honor his work with that subscription. And if you're a fan of Butler County sports, you need to do the same. Swinging a line drive into short right field. That's going to drop. The Cougars have 2-1 and nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning.
Looks like a rally to me.
Yep. Fantastic start for the Cougars. 2-1, no outs. Coming to the plate is Bailey Strunk, the left fielder, wearing uniform number 24.
Now batting, number 24, Bailey Strunk.
Bailey Strunk comes into this game with 12 hits and 58 at-bats. Bailey also has scored 8 runs with 7 RBIs. Bailey Strunk to be followed by Ellie Clemens unless we get a triple play. And if I speak that into existence, Rich, you're taking over.
Because you're out of here.
Yeah,
You're
if that happens, Rich, a triple play, I'm going to venture over to take the PA. There's a swing and a fly ball to center. Under it and making the play out there is Chloe Holmes for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second.
And that rules out your triple play you was hoping for.
I get to stick around, Rich.
Now batting, number 7, Ellie Clemens.
So Ellie Clemens will step in, center fielder for the Cougars, wearing uniform number 7. She takes strike 1. Clemens, a sophomore, another one of the young Cougars that these kids are getting their experience, and they are going to be pivotal parts of this program. There's a swing and a bunt up in the air, and the catcher will make that play as we have a pop out to Rose Hensley for out number 2.
Now batting, number 27, the second baseman, Evie Short.
So with 2 out now, Evie Short will step in. Evie Short, a freshman. So again, youth galore for the Cougars, and they may take their moments of losses in this season, but I truly believe that these kids will get this experience and make this program improve over the next few years. Pitch taken high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Our sun is fading. Back to overcast. And as those suns dive behind the clouds, there's a swing and a miss from Evie Short.
Nothing threatening. We're okay.
Yeah, the radar, according to the Weather Channel, which I wouldn't call them necessarily trustworthy, but it does look like we're in good shape. Swing and a smash.
Oh.
That ball's over the left fielder's
Oh,
head.
here comes one.
Coming in to score is Riley Calick.
Here comes
Coming in
another one.
behind her is J.C. Brashear. Throw to third. We've got a rundown. And the runner who hit that, or the batter who hit that and became a runner, is thrown out. So we'll sort that out for you in just a minute. That goes as a double and 2 RBIs. That the 2 runs scored before that out was made. So that will be a 2 RBI hit for Evie Short that will tie this game at 3-3. But the force out went 7-5-4 in forcing or on the tag out of Evie Short. So for the Cougars in the bottom half of the second inning, they tie it up with 2 runs. They had a total of 3 hits. There were no Monroe errors, and no runners were left on base, and we're through 2 complete. With the score now, the Monroe Hornets 3, the Edgewood Cougars 3. We'll be back in just a minute.
In the inning for the Cougars, 2 In the Hornets' half of the second inning, no
We're back with you for the Cougars half of the third inning. They'll have the top of the order up there. It'll be Evelyn Henson, Jaylee Rose, and Sam Veerhoff for the Cougars, looking to take the lead in the home half of the third. And here comes the pitch. That's an all-speed taken high for ball one to Evelyn Henson, the senior today, with a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. Her first time up there. There's a pitch inside for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes on Evelyn Henson. Henson, we touched on it, a tremendous career for Cougar softball. There's a swing and a pop-up in foul territory. It'll get over onto the netting of the batting cage for a foul ball. Count now 2-1 on Henson. The Monroe infield pretty much straight away. There's a swing and a smash.
Nice hit.
Right center field all the way to the wall. Henson will cruise into second with a double, and she'll stop there as Evelyn Henson smashes a single to the wall in right center field for a double to lead off the Cougars' third.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 14, Jaylee Rose.
So Jaylee Rose steps in. Her first time up, a strikeout victim. There's a pitch inside for a ball. Nearly hit her.
Yes.
That was close.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A lot of students out in attendance today as I look around. Good to see them supporting their classmates. There's a pitch low for a ball. Not sure of the count. Looks like 2-0. 2-0 on Jaylee Rose. There's a pitch taken high for ball 3. These two teams met. Let me look at the schedules. I'll get you an update on when they played. There's a swing and a grounder to second. Throw over to first, but advancing to third is Evelyn Henson. A good piece of hitting by Jaylee Rose as she moves up the runner 60 feet. And an awesome at bat for Jaylee Rose. That goes 4-3. You don't see it in the scorebook as a good play. It just shows as a ground out. But that is an excellent piece of hitting to move the runner over to third base now with 1 out. And Sam Veerhoff steps in, who had had an RBI her first time up. Swinging a foul back. So Veerhoff flew out to what appears to be left field, and scoring on that play was Evelyn Henson back in the first.
At the plate, number 23, Sam Veerhoff.
Here comes a pitch, fouled back. Oh. That one went right over our heads, Rich.
Yes.
You know, we've got Edgewood educator and cheer coach in here with us.
Yes.
In the press box with us, and she, I thought, could have ran behind and caught that. but she's serving the customers here.
Now, let's rephrase this a little bit. This is not the press box. This is the concession stand / press box.
Well, it is a multi-purpose facility.
So if you hear somebody order a hot dog, we're full service. We can take care of that too.
There's a swing and a hard grounder to second. That's going to get the run home. And a ground out to second, 4-3 with an RBI is Sam Bierhoff. So Henson scores her second run. The RBI ground out by Bierhoff puts the Cougars ahead 4-3.
Now batting. The designated hitter, number 11, Leah Combs.
There's a swing and by Leah Combs. Fly ball to center field. Under it is Chloe Holmes, and that will be out number 3. But the Cougars, they score and take the lead 4-3. We'll tell you the inning summary here in just a minute. Leah Combs fly out to center. So for Edgewood in the third inning, they do get 1 run. They had a total of 1 hit. There were no errors for Monroe, and there were no runners left on base. And we are through 3 full with the score now, Edgewood 4, Monroe 3. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
In the inning for the Cougars.
Music. Music, Rich. So back at the ballpark, here in the top half of the 4th inning, count 0-1 on the leadoff batter this inning, that being
Chloe Holmes.
Chloe Holmes leading off.
At the plate, number 2, Chloe Holmes.
Chloe Holmes, count 0-2 on Chloe Holmes. Center fielder, first time up there, struck out. And there's strike 3. And the first out of the inning. On the strikeout, will bring to the plate Ava Peoples.
Now batting, number 33, Ava Peoples.
Ava Peoples in there, also a strikeout victim, her first time. And it appears that as though J.C. Brashear is getting into a little zone here. I don't want to jinx her, but she's really pitching well at the moment.
Pitching well. Yeah,
There's a swing and a foul straight back.
Typically once she gets in that groove, she carries through.
Well, she's an impressive pitcher.
Yes, she is.
And I believe you mentioned earlier, Rich, she's a sophomore.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
And
She's
varsity as a freshman.
Yeah, she will. This experience definitely going to pay off. There's a swing and a fly ball to center. Coming on is the center fielder, and Ellie Clemens makes the catch out there for out number 2 here in the 4th inning.
Now batting, number 21, Molly Griffin.
So Molly Griffin steps in quickly, 2 outs here in the visiting half of the 4th inning. Griffin takes a fastball just off the plate outside. 1 ball and no strikes. The first time up there for Molly Griffin, she walked. So Griffin walked in the 2nd inning. leading off the second inning.
If I could interject my own little bit of what little wisdom I have, that ball's foul back. Oh, and it's off the dugout roof. If I could interject a little bit of what I know, when I'm not live streaming and working with you, I'm here covering the PA at the softball games.
Well, Rich,
The defense has greatly improved over the season.
these kids look great. I mean, I'm impressed with the caliber of play. No doubt about that. It's good. It's high-level softball, and these kids are out here having fun. That's what it's all about. There's a swing and a miss. And Griffin now with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll try to keep the inning going as Caroline Weary waits on deck for her chance. She's hoping to get it this inning. There's a changeup, strike 3, and that will do it for the Monroe Hornets here in the 4th inning. So the Hornets go in order in the top of the 4th, no runs. There were no hits, no errors, no runners left on base, and we are through 3.5 innings of baseball, which is the midway point of this one. And the score remains the Edgewood Cougars 4 and the Monroe Hornets 3. We'll join you back in a couple of minutes.
In the inning for the
Back with you live here at the ballpark. The Edgewood Cougars in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Riley Callick steps in there. She hits a flare into short center. Great running catch by the center fielder, Chloe Holmes. She ranged far in from center field to make the catch for out number 1. A great play from Chloe Holmes.
now batting, the pitcher, number 5, J.C. Brashear.
So put a star by that play as Chloe Holmes, the best defensive effort of this game so far, a brilliant running catch to lead off the 4th inning. And now stepping in is J.C. Brashear. She singled her first time up there. Also came around to score on the double by Evelyn Henson. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Brashear. There's a swing and a foul straight back.
That hit the driveway.
Well, like I said, Rich, I'm right by the field house over there, the athletic field house, and I'm in the firing zone. And that might have just hit it.
Nope.
Oof. Have mercy. I might have to find a new parking spot. Because they're getting close back there, aren't they, Rich?
I think they may be aiming at you. You've got
In baseball, I'm parked far enough away where it's not an issue. There's a swing and a drive. That
my,
ball's
it's
back in
gone.
the deep right, off the fence.
Just off
That
the
ball was smashed, Rich. A great hit by J.C. Brashear off the wall in deep right field for a double.
Now
That ball,
batting, number 24, Bailey Strunk.
that ball just missed being a home run by about 2 feet.
I thought it was gone. I thought it was gone.
Excellent hit by J.C. Brashear brings up Bailey Strunk. She flew out to center her first time. There's a pitch taken high for ball 1. Cougars looking to add on to what is currently a 4-3 lead here in the bottom half of the 4th. A very well played game by both teams so far. Error-free ball.
Oh, inside.
So the Cougars would love nothing more than to get Brashear in from second to give them a 5-3 lead. Little insurance. There's a swing and a grounder to short. Up with it clean is Van de Venner. She throws across the diamond to Maddie Frazier. And that is out number 2 with Brashear moving over to third base.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 7, Ellie Clemens.
So a runner now at third base, 2 outs. That's going to bring in Ellie Clemens to the plate.
Go on, Ellie.
First time up there, she popped out to the catcher and looking to get that run in from third and 2 outs. That pitch is taken off the plate, ball 1. Clemens waiting on deck is Evie Short. 2 outs deep into the 4th inning. Here comes the pitch. Fastball inside corner. Count evens at 1-1
Let's go, Ellie.
to Clemens.
Looks like Rick Casano's back in action.
Well, that's good to know. There's a swing and a pop-up behind the plate, and the pitcher calls it in fair territory, and that will end the inning for the Cougars here in the home half of the 4th. So for the Edgewood Cougars, no runs, 1 hit. There was 1 runner left on base, no Monroe Hornet errors, and we are through 4 complete with the score remaining. The Edgewood Cougars 4, the Monroe Hornets 3. And we'll be back for the top of the 5th in just a couple of minutes.
In the inning for the
Back live here for the top half of the 5th inning for the Monroe Hornets. Leading off is the 9-hole hitter, Caroline Weary.
That is number 5.
So it looks like we have a pinch hitter. Number 5 is London Moss now hitting. She was a pinch runner earlier in this
now
game.
batting, number 5, London Moss.
So London Moss,
If you remember, the girl she ran for took kind of an awkward slide into second base, so she may have pulled something.
well, I don't know if that was Caroline Weary who was in this spot, but you may be right, Rich. There's a swing and a miss from London Moss, to be followed by the top of the order, McKenna Bear and Aubrey Vandeventer for the Hornets in the 5th. There's a pitch and a hard grounder up the middle, fielded by Evie Short. She throws over to first base at Jaylee Rose, and that completes the first out of the inning. 4-3 if you're scoring with us at home for out number 1.
Now batting, number 3, McKenna Bear.
So stepping in, the leadoff hitter, McKenna Bear. She's 0 for 2 in this one. Fly out to left, fly out to right. And 1 out on the nice play at second base by Evie Short. There's a swing and a pop-up on the infield. And that's going to be fielded. Rich, we got a unwanted visitor in here, and I can't even focus.
We have another celebrity.
That's not a celebrity. That thing's going to sting both of us, and Mrs. Clemens is going to have to step up on the live stream of today's game.
Now batting number 4, Aubrey Vandevenner.
So a pop out to shortstop by McKenna Bear brings up Aubrey Vandevenner. And Vandevenner hits a fly ball to center, and Ellie Clemens out there with a nice catch for out number 3. And the Monroe Hornets go in order. And for the Hornets, no runs, no hits, no Edgewood errors, no runners left on. Through 4.5 innings, the score remains the Edgewood Cougars 4, the Monroe Hornets 3. And we'll be back to bring you all the action in just a couple of minutes.
In the inning for the
Back to the ballpark as the Edgewood Cougars come calling here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. It'll be Evie Short, Evelyn Henson, and Jaylee Rose, and hopefully more for the Cougars. Here comes the pitch, taken inside, ball 1. Short, her first time up there, doubled and picked up a couple of RBIs in the process. So excellent first time up there for Evie Short. There's a fastball taken for a strike. Count evens at 1-1. Rich, our beloved Reds have fallen on hard times of late. I don't know what's going on down there, but
Our streaking Reds.
they are a streaky team, aren't they?
Yes.
Pitch taken outside. I know that Francona will eventually get it all figured out, but it's a little bit frustrating, the ball
Yes.
they played so far.
Yeah, it's just
There's a swing and a chopper foul as Evie Short hangs
as
around.
my brother would say, they can't. How's it? They can't handle prosperity. They'll
Yep,
win several, like 4 or 5 games, and then they'll fall into a slump for 2 or 3 games.
yep. And the good news working in their favor, here comes the pitch. That's strike 3, and Evie Short is down on strike. The thing is,
for the Cougars, number 1, the catcher, Evelyn Henson.
we've got a little break in the action. We're going to have to see what's going on. As I had that as a strikeout. And the batter, Evie Short, is currently standing on first base. And she's out. So, out number 1. But back to the Reds, Rich. The one thing that is working in their favor is that they are in a bad division. Nobody's going to run away with that division.
It's true.
So Evelyn Henson steps in, and on senior day so far, she has stepped up and delivered big time. Single, double, stolen base, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored for Evelyn Henson so far in this one. You love to see it, Rich. You love to see these kids on senior night
Yes.
step up big. There's a swing and a high drive to center. Should stay in the park. And squeezed out there by Chloe Holmes for out number 2 in the 5th.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 14, Jaylee Rose.
Jaylee Rose steps in. She's 0 for 2 today. Strikeout and a ground out to second. Here comes the pitch, taking low ball 1. Taking over for his wife on concession duties. Let's give it up for Edgewood Athletic Director, Mr. Scott Clemens, joining us there in the press box / concession stand multi-purpose facility, as I like to call it, here with us, and it's good to have Scott. It just goes to show you, folks, the jack of all trades. I don't think there's anything this guy can't do. That's just the facts of the matter. All right, back to baseball, or softball.
Quickly.
There's a pitch that's fouled back to the screen. So Jaylee Rose in there with a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss. Count evens at 2-2. And the call to the bullpen, and Scott Clemens is out of here.
I would talk to you before you get away, before you get too far away.
There's a swing and a smash to center field, base hit. A beautiful piece of hitting from Jaylee Rose, and a single to center field with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Brings up Sam Veerhoff.
Now batting, number 23, Sam Veerhoff.
Veerhoff in this one, a sacrifice to left field RBI, sacrifice fly, and also stepped up her second time, made an out, ground out 4-3, but another RBI. So 2 RBIs on the day for Veerhoff. Swing and that was close.
That was a shot.
A hard ground ball down the first base line, ruled just foul, and the count moves to 0-1. Great ball game. This is entertaining, Rich. I don't know about you, but I'm loving it. I love these close games. Swing and a miss. Pitch is taken low, throw it down to second, not in time. And that'll be a stolen base for Jaylee Rose. So for Jaylee Rose, that is her 9th stolen base of the season. Jaylee Rose, 9 steals. So she's getting after it on the base paths this year. There's a swing and a miss. And down on strikes.
Literally.
Down on strikes to end the inning is Sam Veerhoff. So for the Edgewood Cougars, no runs. They did get 1 hit. There were no Monroe errors, and 1 runner was left on base. And we are through 5 complete here at the Woodry Sports Complex with the score remaining Edgewood 4 and the Monroe Hornets 3. We'll join you back in just a couple of minutes.
In the inning, no runs. There was
We're back here at the ballpark. The Monroe Hornets up in the top of the 6th. They're going to send to the plate 3, 4, and 5 in their order. There's a swing and a drive deep to center field. Moving back is Clemens. What a catch by the center fielder, Ellie Clemens. Back up near the wall, she runs to make a great catch to start the inning for the Cougars. Rose Hensley goes down. Very well hit ball, but a great play in center field by Ellie Clemens, out number 1. That brings to the plate Hannah Whitty. There's a swing and a grounder to short, and that will come off the glove of the shortstop, that being Reagan Jarvis, and we will score that the first error of the game.
Now batting number 30, Maddie Frazier.
Tough play for Jarvis. If she fields it, it's going to be a backhand, and she's going to have to throw across the diamond. But we are going to score that an error here in the booth. Maybe right, maybe wrong, but that's what we're going with.
Yeah. I think it could have been handled.
So Hannah Whitty reaches on an error. She's the pitcher. We may have a substitution as the Monroe first base coach is meeting with home plate umpire Todd Chenoweth, and we're probably getting a reported change. So we'll see who comes on here. It looks like number 6 is going to be pinch running, that being Caitlin Carito. So Caitlin Carito, I hope we're saying that right.
A pinch runner for Monroe, number 6, Caitlin Carito.
So Carito into pinch run for Whitty, and Maddie Frazier steps in, single and a strikeout for her today. Runner on the move, swinging a foul straight back. So Carito immediately on the move. She must have some serious speed. Here comes the pitch to Frazier. And once again on the move, throw down to second by Henson. And they got her.
He's out.
A beautiful throw by Evelyn Henson. And attempting to steal was Carito, but she is thrown out by Henson. Quickly, 2 outs.
And that cleared the bases.
Big play by Evelyn Henson right there. That goes 2-4, I believe. 2-4 or 2-6. Either way, caught stealing. There's a swing and a line drive. Base hit to center field. They'd love to have that play back now.
That would have probably scored that runner.
So a single for Maddie Frazier, 2 outs, runner at first. And it does look like we're going to get a pitch hitter.
Now batting number 9, Gabby Burns.
So Gabby Burns is going to pitch hit for Chloe Holmes. Gabby Burns steps in. Burns on the season hitting .333. Runner over at first. Pitch is taken high. Ball 1 to Gabby Burns. Pitch hitting for Chloe Holmes. Cougars left-hander J.C. Brashear trying to work out of this. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Edgewood third baseman Riley Calick in, a couple of steps in the third. Same over at first with Jaylee Rose. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. You know, watching Brashear, she is tying up these Monroe hitters with inside pitches. Both of those pitches to Burns right on the inside corner. It's tough to hit. There's a swing and a miss. And that'll be it for Monroe in the 6th. So Monroe had a total of no runs on no hits. Excuse me, no runs on 1 hit. There was 1 Edgewood error, and they did strand 1 runner on base. And we are through 5.5 innings of softball with the score remaining Edgewood 4 and Monroe 3.
In the inning, no runs. There was
We're back here at the ballpark. One strike on leadoff Cougars leadoff hitter here in the 6th, Leah Combs. She fouls it back. Count moves to 0-2. A new pitcher on the mound for the Monroe Hornets. That being who was the previous shortstop, Aubrey Vandeventer, is now on the mound. There's a pitch taken outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Vandeventer has moved from short to pitch. I believe the left fielder, there's a foul ball at the plate. I believe that the left fielder is now playing shortstop, that being McKenna Bear. And I don't know who that is out in left. That might be a substitution as well. But we just can't keep track of all that unless the umpire lets us know back here. But we'll do the best we can, folks. There's a swing and a foul straight up and out of here. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a swing and a bolt over the center fielder's head, all the way to the wall. She's going for second, and she will be safe with a leadoff double, Leah Combs. So a leadoff double for Combs is going to bring up Riley Calick.
Now batting number 25, Riley Calick.
So that is a big insurance run for Edgewood out there at second base with no outs. They'd love to push the lead to 5-3 in this one. And a golden opportunity to do it. Fastball taken high, ball 1. We've been reported that we missed that substitution. This is the 2nd inning of work for Vandeventer. We apologize for that, but that is the situation. Vandeventer on the mound. Swinging a foul straight back. That rattles our Mevo camera behind the plate, but we're still looking good for the live broadcast. Here comes a pitch, swinging another foul straight back.
On that pitching move, Whitty moved to left field.
Yep, so Whitty moved to left, Bear moved to shortstop, and Vandeventer moved to pitch. So they're just a 3-way swap of the positions. The lineup stays the same. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Line drive up the middle, no advance as the runner, Combs, had to freeze. She did not know if that ball was going to be caught. Did the right thing by just staying put. Runners now at first and second for J.C. Brashear, the pitcher.
Now batting the pitcher, number 5, J.C. Brashear.
So first and second now, Brashear at the plate. What a day for her. Single and scored double in this one, 2 for 2. And on top of that, some masterful pitching. So she's had a day here at the Woodry Sports Complex. We certainly would love to see her add on to that right here. Fastball outside. Count moves to 2-0. These two teams, Rich, I believe, played. I've been meaning to tell us that. There's a swing and a foul. Oh, look out. These two teams met, according to the SWBL website. These two teams met on April the 23rd. There's a swing and a drive. That's going to drop into right center, and the bases are going to, ball gets away from short, no advance. So another single, and Edgewood is in business with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Now batting number 24, Bailey Strunk.
So back to that first meeting, back on April the 23rd, which was a Wednesday, the Monroe Hornets defeated the Edgewood Cougars 8-1 in a game played at Monroe High School. And the Cougars, looking to get a little revenge today, have the bases loaded in what is currently a 4-3 lead with no outs. There's a fastball taken inside for a strike to Bailey Strunk, right on that inside corner. There's another strike right on the inside. And the count quickly 0-2 to Strunk. She's flown out to center and grounded out to short. Here comes the 0-2. Taken high, ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Entertaining game. This is great.
This is fun.
That's taken high, 2-2.
Now, from what I hear, after that 8-1 loss, senior Evelyn Henson came to where I was at the baseball game, and she says that's the first time in her 4-year career that Monroe had beat us.
That's very interesting. I was unaware of that. Well, back to the action. The count now full. And this is a very, very big pitch coming to Bailey Strunk. 3-2. Here it comes. Swinging a ground ball foul down the third base line. So full count. The Monroe infield is all drawn in. So they're coming home with any ground ball hit at them. For the force, there's a swing and a pop up to the pitcher. That ball is caught. Runner too far off, dives back, save. Barely getting back in over there at third base was Leah Combs. And that'll go fly out 1, and that'll bring to the plate Ellie Clemens, the center fielder.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 7, Ellie Clemens.
So Clemens followed by Evie Short, bases loaded, infield still in. Here comes the pitch. Taken high, ball 1. Good eye by Clemens. This is definitely a situation Edgewood would like to add on. And the Monroe Hornets know it with that infield in. Outfield, straight away. Fastball inside corner for a strike. Count evens at 1-1.
Come on, Ellie.
Here comes the pitch. Taken low, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 2-1 delivery. Taken high, ball 3. And Vandeventer is going to have to come in. Vandeventer is going to have to come in to Ellie Clemens with this pitch, or the Cougars will score. That's taken, on the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Come on, Ellie. Come on.
I wouldn't have swung at that one either.
That's debatable. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. That's taken low, ball 4. And Ellie Clemens walks, and the Cougars now lead 5-3. An RBI for Ellie Clemens on the bases loaded walk.
Now batting, 0-0, Evie Short.
So Clemens gets the RBI. Everybody else moves up. Calick to third, Brashear to second, and Clemens over at first. Here comes the pitch. There's a swing and a pop-up on the infield. Foul territory, and into the crowd. They're scattering over there. It looks like nobody got hit. So we have no balls and 1 strike on Evie Short. She doubled in the second and struck out in the 5th. She already has 2 RBIs on that double she hit in the second. Looking to get a few more. RBI steaks. Back in the day, we used to call those, I think they still call them RBI steaks.
Ribeye steaks.
Little ribeye steak. What do you think of that, Rich? You think we need some steak up here?
Yes.
I think I'm with
Maybe
you.
we can order one from the concession stand.
Sorry,
We
it's got
have-
hot dogs and nachos.
We have round steak back here
Well,
behind us.
We are going to, it's just another example Rich, of we need to have a good communication with Scott Clemens about steaks for us in here.
We need a sponsor.
And there's a fastball taken high. The other thing that we've asked for numerous times is Witt's frozen custard.
Yes.
Now today, I don't know if that would be our best choice, but steak. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
There's a swing and a drive.
It-
Back in the left,
Oh,
over the head of the left fielder.
That's-
1 run scores.
Run.
Here comes the second run. And throw to third, not in time.
Good job.
Evie Short with a double to the wall and left. Whitty with a great effort, not able to come up with it. A 2 RBI double for Evie Short. 2-run score. And the Edgewood Cougars have runners at second and third. That's another run. And now we've got runners at second and third.
Now batting, number 1, Evelyn Henson.
I mean, can you? Edgewood now leads 7-3. There's a strike to Evelyn Henson. You can't script this any better right here.
You can't
I mean,
make this
Evelyn
stuff
Henson.
up. Yeah.
Evelyn Henson on senior night, an opportunity here with 1 out to further the Edgewood lead, and they were going to walk her.
Put her on.
You talk about taking the air out of the balloon for the Cougar fans.
But that,
That's a show of respect. That's a show of respect. So a base on balls for Henson.
and that loads them up again.
So the bases are loaded here in the 6th for Jaylee Rose. There's a fastball outside, ball 1. Rose in this one, strikeout, ground out to second, single and a stolen base in the 5th. It's like our Mevo stream looks good. There's a swing and a foul over on the first base side. 1 out, 0-2 count. Make that 1-1 count. Van de Venter's ready. Here it comes. Fastball right on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Come on, Jaylee.
One ball and 2 strikes. The pitch, swing and a looper over second.
yeah,
That's
it's
going
in
to
there.
drop. And then 1 run scores, and that's all the Cougars will get. But another single, and the Cougars have opened up to a 8-3 lead off the single by Rose.
Now batting, number 23, Sam Fearhoff.
What an inning for the Cougars, and hopefully more to come. Bierhoff steps in, fly ball to center. Moving over out there is Chloe Holmes. She throws to the plate on the tag. Save! And here comes Henson. Henson slides. She saves! Oh! Beautiful base running by Evelyn Henson.
Now batting, number 11, Leah Combs.
So we'll sort that one out for you. That's a sacrifice fly and 1 RBI. The throw got away from the catcher, and that allowed Henson to come all the way home. So only 1 RBI on that sacrifice fly to center, but Henson hustles around to score on the throw that got away. Will have to be scored an error on the center fielder, allowing her to advance to the plate.
Leah Combs.
And Leah Combs steps in.
Back here.
So
Brian, we couldn't have picked a better game.
yeah, I'm just so happy that we're covering this. We need to continue to promote our girls' programs, and I really enjoy this. I enjoy being out here. These girls work just as hard at their sports as anybody in the Edgewood system, and good to see them playing so well today.
Now, we've asked for several things, but I've also put in a request to double deck this so we could have a press box.
Man, the Cougars are unleashing. There's a line drive base hit by Leah Combs, her second at bat of the inning, as the Cougars have batted around. So that is a single and an RBI for Combs.
Now batting number 25, Riley Calick.
And that scored Jaylee Rose, I believe. And now a runner at first base only. Edgewood Cougars with 7 runs so far. There's a swing and a foul straight up and out of here. So the Edgewood Cougars 7 runs in the 6th inning when they went into it holding a 4-3 lead. That's good softball. Rich, my MacBook is at 22%. They better not be messing around much longer.
Stand out there, don't play.
There's a swing and a foul over the fence in left field.
Our silent partner here in the press box / concession stand.
Rich, refer to that as multi-purpose facility.
She's seen all the games. She says this is the best home game that these girls have played all year.
Beautiful. They saved it for us, Rich.
Yes.
But let me tell you something. In all seriousness, you have to realize that these girls, when it gets to senior night, it does give a little added incentive.
Yes, it does.
They want to go send Evelyn out, I'm sure, with a good memory. And so far, it's been that. We still got to get 3 outs.
Oh, yeah.
But it's good to hear that this is a great effort. And I would have to agree. There's a bouncing ball off the foot, and they're not going to call it off the foot. They're going to talk. And we're going to have a meeting to find out whether that ball hit the foot of the batter, Riley Calick. And if it did, and no, they're going to rule her out on a ground out. Rich, do you remember who that was hit to? Was that ball hit to the third baseman? Yeah, we're going to go 5-3 on the ground out by Calick. And that'll end the inning for the Cougars. But the Cougars do get 7 runs. And this may take me a minute on the hits. The Cougars have 7 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits in the inning. 7 runs on what I'm showing is 6 hits.
No errors.
There was 1 error on the throw home, allowing Evelyn Henson to score. The Edgewood Cougars did strand 1 runner on base. So to summarize all that, 7 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on base. And we head to the top half of the 7th inning as the Cougars look to close this one out. Edgewood now leads 11-3. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. You know, we're back live for the 7th inning as Edgewood pitcher J.C. Brashear looks to finish this one out. There's a fastball taken outside for a ball. We are truly amazed.
Now batting number 33, Ava Peoples.
We are truly amazed at how fast these inning breaks are. I mean, it seems like 1 minute and we're right back on the air. Now, if baseball did that, Rich, we actually get out of there before 3 hours.
You're windy enough, you don't have to shut this off between innings. You can just talk on through it.
It's
And there's not a whole lot of time.
There's a ground ball to third. Nice play at third by the Edgewood third baseman, Riley Calick. She throws across the diamond to get Ava Peoples. That goes 5-3 for out number 1.
Now batting number 21, Molly Griffin.
So that's going to bring to the plate Molly Griffin. Pitch taken low, ball one. What a night for Evelyn Henson for the Cougars. And she scored 3 runs in this game. 3 runs. And right with her is Evie Short. 2 doubles, 4 RBIs. And we'd be really messing up if we didn't mention the 3 for 3 day at the plate of J.C. Brashear. Scored twice and has pitched a gem of a ball game. So count currently 3-0 as Brashear looks to close this one out. 2 outs away for the Cougars, but a 3-0 count. Here comes the pitch, strike 1, right down Broadway. 3 balls and 1 strike. The fans rise to their feet out in center field. So I think it's just because they don't have chairs.
I think you're right. And that's all.
There is ball 4, and a runner reaches for the Monroe Hornets.
Now batting number 5, London Moss.
So a base on balls for Molly Griffin. And that's going to bring up London Moss. She pinch hit back in the 5th inning. There's a swing and a grounder up the middle. Fielded by the shortstop. Steps on the bag. Throw to first. Double play!
Play to end the game.
Double play to end the game.
With the splits.
What a play by the Cougars. It goes 6 unassisted to 3, 6-3 double play. And that will end this game. And the final score, Edgewood Cougars 11 and the Monroe Hornets 3. We'll be back to tell you all about it in just a couple of minutes. Back at the ballpark to summarize this game today, the Edgewood Cougars and the Monroe Hornets locked into a matchup, and the final score in this one, the Edgewood Cougars on senior night win 11-3. Summary on this one, the first off for the Monroe Hornets, they had a total of 3 runs. Those were all scored in the first inning, by the way. 5 hits. There was 1 Edgewood error, and 3 runners were left on base in the game for Monroe. Losing pitcher Hannah Whitty, she falls to 9-3, and the Monroe Hornets were led in this game offensively by Rose Hensley with a home run. That was the big blow for them in the first inning, a 2-run home run by Rose Hensley. And also collecting a couple of hits was Maddie Frazier for the Hornets. For your Edgewood Cougars, they had 11 runs on 13 hits. 13 hits, folks, that's impressive. It's a lot of hits. The Monroe Hornets committed 2 errors, and their Edgewood Cougars stranded 4 runners on base to give us the final score of 11-3. Winning pitcher was J.C. Brashear. J.C. was fantastic on the mound today. With the win, J.C. moves to 6-6 on the year. And the Edgewood Cougars offense, first off, let's go over J.C.'s pitching line. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, with 2 walks and a total of 6 strikeouts. So an excellent effort from Brashear on the mound. Offensively, 3 people that we'd like to point out. Evelyn Henson on senior night, 2 for 3, 3 runs scored, a stolen base, and for good measure, 2 RBIs for Evelyn Henson on her senior night. Pretty awesome stuff. Also want to point out the efforts of J.C. Brashear. Not only we touched on her pitching, but at the plate today, 3 for 3, 2 runs scored, 2 singles, and a double. And finally, the efforts of second baseman Evie Short. She went 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles and 4 RBIs in this one. Records at the conclusion of this game, Monroe falls to 11-3. They're 1-3 in the conference. The Edgewood Cougars with the win move to 7-15, 1-5. Their first conference win today over the Monroe Hornets, and a good one at that for in the Southwestern Buckeye League Southwestern Division. So that'll do it. From here in Trenton, we will ask you to stick around. We are about to have a Star of the Game show with the 3 players I just mentioned from Edgewood, those being Evelyn Henson, J.C. Brashear, and Evie Short. We'll have them on live in a couple of minutes. But the final tonight from Trenton, the Edgewood Cougars 11 and the Monroe Hornets 3. And on behalf of my right-hand man here in the booth, Rich Hazelwood, this is Brian Caudell, wishing you a great night. And again, thank you for joining us. This is the middle-aged left-hander, rounding third and heading for Skyline. Good night, everyone.
I'm going to add one more thing.